Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Ji. How are you all?
Very well, ma'am.
Okay, let's start the section. Today we are going to discuss about the basics of the nutrition. Okay, what is macronutrients and what is micronutrients? So these two nutrients we are going to discuss today. So please turn on your video, everyone. Are you able to see the screening, right? Is it visible? The screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. One minute, I will share the screen again. Okay, is it visible now? Today we are discussing about the nutrients, okay? The main nutrients and what are the macro and what are the micronutrients. So basically foods divided into two groups, okay? Macro and micro. So what is macronutrients? Anyone have idea? Macronutrients?
Vitamins, minerals.
Yeah, macronutrients means carbohydrates, protein, and fats. Okay, because these nutrients we require in larger amounts because for to get energy and to repair the tissues and to protect inner organs from like any particular foreign bodies, for everything these macronutrients are very important. So okay, energy, carbohydrates. From carbohydrates we get energy, so to walk, to do any work, and for the brain function, for everything we require energy. But that energy we should get through from carbohydrates only. Okay, not from the proteins and not from the fats, because the proteins role are different and fats role are different in our body. Okay, carbohydrates. So what are the carbohydrate rich foods? So you guys have any idea about these carbohydrate rich foods? What kind of food we are calling carbohydrate foods?
White food like rice, wheat,
Yeah,
this kind of foods.
yeah, cereals. All kind of cereals contains higher amount of the carbohydrates. But cereal also contains a little amount of the proteins and fats, but the major percentage only carbohydrates. That's why mainly from cereals we will get a good amount of the carbohydrates. Okay, and proteins. So what is the role of proteins in our body? So protein has play very important role in our body, okay? To repair the tissues, to improve hemoglobin levels, you can write down, you can make a note, okay? So for the tissue repair, to improve hemoglobin levels, to improve muscle growth, and for hair root also, to improve hair strength also, to balance hormones in our body, and the major role, and it works as antibodies also in our body. Okay, so to protect our immunity system from foreign bodies, for that also we require good amount of the protein in our body. So this protein is a very important nutrient because it plays very important role in our body to protect from any diseases, and it gives us 4 kilocalories from 1 gram of protein. But we shouldn't use this protein as a energy source.
Sorry to interrupt. Please go slow. Please go slow.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's fine. So please write down, okay? Protein, important of the protein role in our body.
Is it 4 kilogram? Sorry.
4 kilocalories. From 1
Okay.
gram of protein, we will get 4 kilocalories. But we shouldn't use this protein rich foods for energy purpose. Actually, I'm getting some noise. Okay, good. Okay, so this protein gives 1 gram of protein gives 4 kilocalories, but protein role in our body is to improve immunity, and it helps us to repair our tissues. Okay, we shouldn't use proteins for energy purpose. We should get energy only from the carbohydrates. Okay, and carbohydrates also, from 1 gram of carbohydrate we will get 4 kilocalories. 1 gram carbohydrate gives 4 kilocalories. Protein also, 1 gram of protein gives 4 kilocalories. Okay, and carbohydrate, especially whenever we are fasting or whenever we are on fad diets. Fad diets means FAD, fad diets. So especially few people follow the fad diet. Fad diet means they completely cut down the carbohydrates from their diet. So those people who are doing that kind of diets, whenever we are cutting down carbohydrates completely from our diet, we may suffer from intestinal problem, and we may suffer from migraine also. And because especially our brain will use 80% of the energy from carbohydrates only, not from the proteins, not from the fats. So for our brain function also, we require certain amount of the carbohydrates. So whenever we are following the diet for weight reduction or weight gain or any specific disease condition, we should include carbohydrate at least some amount. We shouldn't avoid carbohydrates completely. We may experience very in bad way. Okay, we may suffer from migraine, and we may suffer from giddiness, and it reduces memory also. So to improve memory also, we require certain amount of carbohydrate in our body, and this carbohydrate intake also from person to person, it is different. Okay, so based on their weight, based on their height, based on their condition, we can suggest carbohydrates. Okay, and protein, everyone require protein. Without protein, our body doesn't work properly. Because for everything, to get new tissues, to generate new red blood cells also, okay? To generate new red blood cells, improves immunity, and for hair strength, to balance hormones in our body. Please write down, okay? And to improve hemoglobin, because hemoglobin, iron plus protein combination only. If we have this deficient, we may suffer from low hemoglobin levels, okay? And it works as antibodies. And for particularly to generate few hormones in our body, we require proteins in our body. And once we cross age of 40 years, okay, our muscle start to reduce. To improve our muscle also, we require protein. So for 1 kg body weight, we require 0.8 grams of protein. This is the new research. Before we used to take 1 gram protein for 1 kg body weight, but recently the RDA values changed. Now 0.8 grams for 1 kg body weight. Okay. If a person,
Ma'am?
if yeah,
Is that per day or per
for
day?
1 kg body weight
Yeah, that to be taken per day.
per
Right?
day,
Yeah.
per day, 0.8 grams.
Ah.
That is recommended daily allowances per 1 day. If they are deceased, if they are doing high intensity workouts, if they are athletes, the protein intake is different. This is for normal person.
Okay.
Okay. And fats. Now we are discussing about the fats. So, many people, they don't consume more fats. And what are the disadvantages if we cut out the fats from our body, from our diet? Anyone knows?
Ma'am, one question I have.
Yeah.
Protein requirement again, if someone is is on weight loss, again.
That is, we are going to discuss some other day.
Okay, but the protein requirement will be higher than the normal.
Yes, it's depend on person to person, from the person to person. So, this particular topic we are going to discuss on particular day. Okay, we are going to discuss one day about that topic. So that day I will explain how much protein they require. This is just the basics. So the importance of the nutrients. Okay, fats. So what is the main role, fat role in our body? Why we should consume fats? Many people are on very low fat diet, but we should consume the fats. So if we consume very less fats, if we include very less fats in our diet, what are the disadvantages we may face? Anyone knows?
Maybe temperature regulations will be happen or hormonal imbalance will be happen.
Yeah, good. And
Body will be constipated.
no constipated.
There are two types of fat, omega-3 fatty acid and omega-6 fatty acid. Good
That
fatty
is
acid.
completely different.
Okay.
Actually, I think all these cells are like made up of the protein and fat layer. So
No.
essential part of fatty acids and
Fats are very important because from 1 gram of fat, we'll get 9 kilocalories. Please write it. From 1 gram of fat, we will get 9 kilocalories. So if we consume more fat, we are getting more calories from the fat. So definitely people gain the weight if we consume more fat compared to the normal dosages. Okay. So whenever we are not including fats in our diet, we may experience with a dry skin, okay, pale skin, and we may suffer from itching. And this fat is very important because every inner organ protected by the fat only. So if we don't maintain a good certain amount of fat in our body, we may experience with heart problems also. So fat is very important because certain nutrients also will absorb in our body in fat only, with the fat only. Okay, there are two type of vitamins, fat soluble and water soluble. So for fat soluble vitamins also, we require a good amount of fat in our body. Compared to men, women require more fat. Okay. For example, if abdomen fat is 18, that is normal. But for women, 28 is the normal ranges. 28% is the normal ranges because fat is very important, especially for women, to protect our uterus. Okay, to protect our uterus, whenever we are consuming good amount of the fat, that to good fat. Already someone told that omega-3 fatty acids, omega-6 fatty acids. So whenever we are including omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids in our diet, it helps us to improve our heart health. Along with that, it helps us to improve our uterus health. Okay, whenever a woman carrying a baby, it help us protect the baby health also. Fetus growth and development also it depends on the fat also. Okay, for uterus health, to protect the health, to support the uterus, for everything, women require little more amount fat compared to men. So women generally they have little more fat compared to men. So whenever these uterus part and hip part, we have little more compared to men. So that is healthy only. So fat is very important. So whenever we are like whenever we are cooking, but how much oil we are using. So what kind of fatty acids we are getting through cooking oil also matters.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Found on the ground. You let me throw it. Can't
Sorry.
eat it. I'll only eat.
Can you mute, please?
psoriasis disease is also the lack of fat.
No,
Psoriasis,
that is autoimmune disorder.
autoimmune.
Autoimmune disorder, nowadays the cases are increasing by the time. It might be the gut issue, because whenever our gut is not healthy, we may experience with psoriasis. And psoriasis completely, it doesn't harm any organs. But the thing is, it red and it may gives itching feeling. So psoriasis is completely different.
Okay.
So now we discussed about the macronutrients, okay? Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. These three nutrients called as macronutrients, okay? So whenever we are making a diet plan, so whenever you are getting a client, you should ask them these questions: how much carbohydrate they are including, how much protein they are including, and how much fat they are taking, and what kind of fat they are consuming also matters. And now let's discuss about the vitamins and minerals.
Which
So,
food taken for protein, ma'am?
sorry,
Yes. For carbohydrate, you mentioned cereals. For
cereals
protein,
for proteins, we can include meat, pulses, all legumes, and dry fruits, seeds, nuts. That foods are good source of proteins.
And which is the
And-
right way to take them?
Yeah. This is the basic one. By the time I will explain.
Okay.
Okay. Because one day we are going
and
to discuss
fats,
about
ma'am.
protein
And
completely.
fats also. Can you give some examples for fats as well?
We can go with any oil, groundnut, sesame oil, and sunflower oil, any oil, because nuts contains some certain of fatty acids, seeds contains certain fatty acids. If we combine both, we'll get all the necessary fatty acids for our body. So if you're using 1 month seed, for next month you can go with the nut, or else you can mix together both nuts and seed, and you can use for the cooking. You can suggest for your clients also. That time you will getting all the necessary fatty acids. Okay, because that contains omega-3, this contains omega-6. Our body require both in particular portion. So whenever we're mixing them, we are getting all the like fatty acids, and that are also very important for brain development and to protect our heart. Okay, for heart health also we require omega-3 fatty acids. To balance hormones, we require omega-3 fatty acids. To improve brain function, we require omega-3 fatty acids. Okay, so we are going to discuss that completely one day. Now vitamins and minerals. Sorry.
Ma'am, ये भी discuss होगा how they absorb in our body?
Yeah, we are going to discuss. Yeah, we will discuss.
Okay, ma'am.
And vitamins and minerals. So why vitamins and minerals so important for us? Anyone knows?
There are 13 vitamins and 11 minerals, right?
Yeah, yes, good. So why these vitamins and minerals are so important? So what are the disadvantages if we don't get sufficient amount of the vitamins and minerals from our food?
Because vitamins and minerals are helping to absorb the nutrition, I think.
Actually, vitamins and minerals are called as protective foods. Okay, to protect from any disease, we require vitamins and minerals in our body. For example, if you have any potassium deficiency in our body, you may suffer from osteoporosis or osteoarthritis in the future. So that require very very less amount per day. But these micronutrient deficiencies nowadays increasing by the time. Okay, so
They-
70.
Ma'am, they may reverse the disease also.
Yes, because if we consume a certain amount of a required amount of vitamins and minerals on the daily basis, we can prevent the diseases, and few diseases we may reverse. Particularly few diseases. So that time, whenever we are not getting sufficient amount of the, sorry.
Which kind of diseases?
So we are going to explain, including diabetes also we are going to reverse with vitamins and minerals. And diabetes also curable with vitamins and minerals, not only carbohydrate, protein, fats. Micronutrients also plays very important role. Certain type of cancers are especially rising nowadays because of the micronutrient deficiencies. And gut health also by the time it reducing because of the micronutrient deficiencies. And 70% of the diseases only we are getting with micronutrient deficiencies. Because how much we are eating, what kind of food we are eating, is it observing in our body or not, that is also matters. So many micronutrient deficiencies happening because of the leaky gut. So whenever our gut health is not good, we are getting these vitamins and mineral deficiency in our body. So for example, if we have low chromium in our body, so it may lead to diabetes also. So to prevent diabetes, to reverse the diabetes, along with the carbohydrates, protein, fat percentage, we should include this kind of vitamins and minerals also in our diet to prevent any disease. Okay, so for to prevent any disease, thus vitamins and minerals are very important. That's why it is called as protective foods. Protective.
Ma'am, thyroid also reversible?
Thyroid means that is a very big process. I'm going to explain. Just today we are discussing only the basic, because today only the first day only. So we are going to discuss everything in detail by that time.
As you told now कि diabetes is reversible. I'm just asking only this thing.
Diabetes is reversible if you follow the perfect diet, if you change your lifestyle. It's not curable, but it is manageable, it is reversible for few people.
Ma'am, what could be a natural source for chromium?
That's all kind of millets
Okay.
and pulses and green leafy vegetables. That kind of food we should include. That is called as balanced diet. So whenever we are taking a balanced diet, we will get all the necessary nutrients for our body. It improves our metabolism. Naturally, it detox our body also. That's why balanced diet is very important. So balanced diet, how much calories, how much carbohydrate we have to include, and proteins, how much we have to include, fats, everything we will discuss in this course. Okay. So that is the vitamins and minerals. So nutrition, these main food groups divided into two groups, macro and micro. Macro is carbohydrates.
Sorry for the interrupt. Can you explain the disadvantage we can't take the vitamins and minerals?
Everything is disadvantage only. You will get diagnosed with you may suffer from cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, metabolic disorders, gut issues, and we may suffer from many micronutrient deficiencies like sore throat, that might be, and a pale skin might be, iron deficiency, calcium deficiency, bone density may reduce, and hemoglobin levels may reduce if we don't take good amount of vitamins and minerals. Okay, every disease is born with micronutrient deficiency.
Okay.
And so that is the vitamins and minerals. So there are a lot of vitamins and minerals, and eat fiber. In addition, fiber also very important. So according to RDA, recommended daily allowances from National Institute of Nutrition, an adult person requires 28 grams to 35 grams every day. Fiber.
It's all for normal people, right? Whatever
Yes.
you're on now.
Yeah. Fiber for normal people only. This is for normal
45
people.
to, sorry, 45 grams to
28 grams to 35.
Oh, sir, thank you.
28 grams to 35, and this fiber is very important for proper bowel movement, okay, to cut down fat, to cut down the calories, and fiber give fullness, so we don't need to consume more carbohydrate whenever we are on weight loss journey. Okay, to cut down cholesterol levels from our body, we require good amount of the fiber. We should include more fiber. For cardiovascular disorders, for diabetes, and to reduce cholesterol levels, and to reduce constipation, to reduce piles, and for fistulas, for everything. Okay, for everything we require good amount of the fiber, because fiber give fullness. Fiber also two types, okay, soluble and insoluble. These two fibers are very important. These two fibers we are getting from plant-based food items. Okay, that it includes vegetables, green leaf vegetables. So one insoluble fiber gives bulkness. Soluble fiber, it helps us to move food through the digestive tract. These two are very important. So fiber also very important for bowel movement. Without bowel movement, we may experience with nutrient malabsorption. So if you are getting client for yourself, whenever you are making a diet plan, make sure that you should include at least 28 grams to 35 grams of the fiber in our diet for your clients also.
Ma'am, for 30 grams to get 30 grams of fiber, how much salad or vegetables should we consume?
So that
around how much grams?
400 grams at least we have to include in our diet every day. At least 400.
Okay.
Because if you include 400 grams of vegetables, green leaf vegetables in salad form or any curry form, you will get all the necessary vitamins, and you will get good amount of fiber also.
Okay.
Okay, good amount of fiber also you will get. And if any person suffering from constipation, severe constipation, and if they are suffering from piles, and people are suffering from any indigestion issues, bloating, whatever it is, you can suggest them psyllium husk also, that powder available in the market. Okay, psyllium husk. So you can suggest this supplement for especially for weight loss, for cholesterol control. Okay, if they have any gut issue also. So while making the diet plan, you can add these supplement in their diet. Psyllium husk. Okay, psyllium husk. Before food, they can consume it.
Okay.
So how long they need to consume it, ma'am? Or
It's depend on the person digestive issue. So
okay.
few may
Once their bowel movement is okay, then they
okay,
can
they
stop
can,
that.
they can stop.
Okay.
Excess amount is not recommended. They may suffer from diarrhea. Okay, only one scoop only recommended. So whenever we are ordering the product, we will get a scoop inside. That one scoop is sufficient. So before any meal, before the breakfast or before lunch, they can consume. This supplement especially recommended for gut issues. Please write down gut issues if they have any gut issues, for constipation, for piles, because if a person suffering from piles, it's very difficult to pass the stools. They may experience very pain. So to relieve from the pain, they require like soft stools. So these psyllium husk will help them.
Ma'am, before every meal or once a day?
Once a day. Only once a day. One time only. Before lunch or before breakfast. On empty stomach, they can. Empty stomach also. For few people, it is good on empty stomach also. And whenever they are suffering from these diseases, so you should ask them to include more fiber-rich foods like salads, more green leaf vegetables, and vegetables. Because vegetables and green leaf vegetables are very good source of with water. How to take? Psyllium husk we should take with water. One scoop only every day, one time only. That before breakfast or before lunch, any one time. Okay. And water. So generally, how many liters of water you will consume every day?
3.
Okay. So this water intake also, it is different from person to person. Okay. Every 20 kg body weight require 1 liter of water. If a person is 100 kgs, they can consume 5 liters of water every day. 60 kg body weight person can drink up to 3 liters of water every day. But the water imbalance and this water intake different from person to person. For example, if sometimes I consume more than 6 liters also, but sometimes that is also not sufficient for me because my metabolic rate is different. So this water intake is different from person to person, not only 2 liters. So they can consume 3 liters, 4 liters also, but they should consume sufficient amount of water every day, because if we are not drinking sufficient amount of water every day, it leads to migraine. It reduces brain function. It gives dehydration. So whenever we experience with dehydration, we may suffer from hypertension. Okay, it may lead imbalance of electrolytes in our body. So water is very important. Many people, they don't consume more water. So whenever you are getting a client, you should ask these questions also. You should ask, okay? Because water intake also very important to prevent dehydration, to improve moisturization in our body, and it definitely it cause migraine, one side migraine, and memory power. It reduces memory also. So water also very important. So already we discussed the macro and micronutrients. So this is the examples. Macronutrients, especially carbohydrates. So carbohydrates we are getting from cereals, whole grains also cereals only. Millets we can include. That mainly we are getting carbohydrates from those particular food sources. And protein, any pulses, legumes, dry fruits, seeds and nuts and non-veg items, the egg also. From everything we will get good amount of the protein. So proteins are body building foods. And lipids, fats. So fats are very important because to protect our temperature and to reduce oxidation and to protect inner organs from the oxidation, and it gives warmness. It protect temperature, right? So that time we never experience any cardiovascular disorders. So many people, what I observed is many those who are athletes, who are fitness freakers, they don't consume fat much. Their fat levels also, whenever we are doing some tests, only 3%, 4%. That is in dangerous zone. At least we should maintain 5 to 6 6% visceral fat, and normal fat around 18% we have to maintain. Okay. Vitamins, already we discussed. Vitamins, minerals, especially vitamins.
How much fat we have to take per day?
Sorry?
Ma'am, as you told, 80% of carbs we have to take or protein. But what about fat? How much?
Fat daily 15 to 20%. Carbohydrates 50 to 60%. Okay. And proteins 20 to 25%. Remaining lipids 15 to 20%. So whenever we make a diet plan, we should make diet plan in that way. Carbohydrate should be the prior, and proteins and fats.
Fat should be 15%.
15 to 20. 15 to
According
20.
to the weight of your body, right?
Weight of our body, yes. 15 to 20%.
Ma'am, protein?
Protein 25 to 30. 20 to 25, 25 to 30. Remaining carbohydrates. 60% at least carbohydrates. 50 to 60% carbohydrates. Remaining 20 to 25 protein. Remaining fat. That is a measure. So at least 10 to 20% we have to include vitamins and minerals. These vitamins and minerals we require very smaller amounts. This is a larger amount. That's why I'm explaining percentage way. So vitamins and minerals we require in very smaller amounts. So whenever we are including more like vegetables, green leaf vegetables, fruits, we will get sufficient amount of vitamins and minerals from those particular food. So if we have any deficiency, if we have any vitamin deficiency, so we require higher dosages. That time we can go with any supplement along with the food items, because we can't only depend on the supplement, because supplements doesn't provide us phytonutrients. Phytonutrients and main micronutrients we will get through the food only. Because whenever we are consuming balanced diet, it helps us to provide all the necessary nutrients for our body function, and it helps us to detox our body, because many food items are contain pesticides. So whenever some foreign bodies enter into our body in our digestive tract, this balanced diet help us to detox them in natural way. Okay, for everything balanced diet is very important. So the balanced diet only we have to make by using these dietary principles. Already told 60 to 50, 55 to 60% carbohydrates, 20 to 25 proteins, remaining are fats. Okay.
So along with this fiber also 28 gram to 35 gram.
28 grams to 35 grams.
Yes.
That is for a normal person. If a person suffering from constipation or piles, you can give 5 grams more also. We shouldn't give more than that because people may experience with diarrhea. Okay, and this fiber is very important because it helps us to improve our gut microbe.
Ma'am, when we increase the 35%, तो कहीं से deduct करना है, like carb deduct या फिर protein, anything?
Sorry,
How to
carb.
balance? Balance is 100%, na? How we get?
Fiber.
As you told, increase the amount of fiber,
Yes.
right? तो कहीं ना कहीं से he will take less amount of anything else, like protein या fat या carb. तो फिर वहां से it will reduce.
No. So whenever if we are not taking carbohydrate, if we are cut down our carbohydrate also, we are going to include more fiber by including vegetables and green leaf vegetables. No? So from vegetables and green leaf vegetables, we'll get good amount of the fiber. And whenever we are suggesting carbohydrates in the diet, if you cut down carbohydrates also, we are going to give complex carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are two types: simple carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates. Okay, simple carbohydrates means whenever we are removing that layer, outer skin of the seed. Okay, so that is refined carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates. So we are removing the fiber and important micronutrients like vitamin B. Okay, so whenever we are removing that considered as a simple carbohydrates. For example, simple carbohydrate means maida, refined wheat flour, and polished rice. This is considered as a simple carbohydrates because whenever you are consuming these simple carbohydrates, it contains very less amount of the fiber, it contains very less of the vitamin B groups, so it will immediately spike our glucose levels in our body. So it considered as a simple carbohydrates. And complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates is that whole grains. Whole grains is a complex carbohydrates. So whenever we are consuming complex carbohydrates like cereals, millets, okay, any whole grain, any whole grain food, it contains, compared to refined one, this whole grain food contains high amount of the fiber.
Means
And
including the brain.
Yes, it includes the brain and it contains vitamin B groups. So if we observe, many people nowadays suffering from vitamin B12 deficiency, B6 deficiency, and thiamine deficiency. Okay, thiamine is vitamin B2. Thiamine is very important for carbohydrate metabolism. So we require certain nutrients for certain nutrient metabolism. For carbohydrate metabolism also, we require vitamin B. So whenever we are including the whole grain food in our diet, we are getting sufficient.
Also having B12.
Sorry?
Baron also having vitamin B12?
Not B12, vitamin other groups.
Okay.
It doesn't contain vitamin B12, but it contains B2, B1, B3, B6 like that. Okay. But that nutrient is very important for carbohydrate metabolism. So whenever we are making a diet plan, we should consider these points. We should include more complex carbohydrates. That is for diabetes, that is for weight management, that is for cardiovascular disorders, that is for everything. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm going to share this notes, I mean, like the one you're sharing on the screen.
Sorry?
The one you're sharing on the screen, this notes will be given, right?
No, Ji, you can take a screenshot.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking you to write down everything because
But this is very helpful, like because it is in the chat.
You can take a screenshot. You can take a screenshot.
Okay.
that RDA book, okay? RDA PDF tomorrow in the group.
Okay.
So RDA book also, they will mention everything. So which nutrient is important for what? And that carbohydrates, how much carbohydrates we require, everything they will mention. I will share that PDF with you. That book is released by National Institute of Nutrition. Okay. So we
And
have.
sorry, this phytonutrients, what is that the picture is showing? Is that the garlic? What is that showing
Minute.
in the picture regarding the phytonutrients?
Phytochemicals, phytonutrients.
I'm not able to see actually. 1 minute.
Yeah, it's a garlic only.
It looks like garlic.
Yeah, 1 minute. Phytochemicals and phytonutrients are garlic, onion,
And okay.
green tea. Okay.
Okay.
Green tea can go with green tea also. That is also contains phytonutrients. Onions contains, garlic contains. Okay. And all kind of green leaf vegetables contains.
Few of us don't eat garlic, so that was my question actually.
That is just for an example.
Yeah, exactly. I get it.
What is the use of phytochemicals and phytonutrients?
Phytochemicals and phytonutrients, it protect our body from the foreign body. It works as antioxidants. But compared to antioxidants, phytonutrients help us more because it protect from free radicals also. Because whenever we are taking, most of the people living in the cities, so most of the air whatever we are breathing, that contains much more polluted. Okay. So to protect lungs from the free radicals, these phytonutrients help us. It improves our immunity. Free radicals means foreign bodies. So whenever if we use supplements, if we depend only on the supplements, we don't get these phytonutrients from the supplements. Okay. Only we get these phytonutrients only from the food. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Acha, okay. I am not able to see.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you have mentioned phytochemicals and phytonutrients, right? So what are the phytochemicals are there?
Phytochemicals means.
Yeah, what are the chemicals?
Sorry. You're asking about phytonutrients and phytochemicals, right? Phytochemicals means, so whenever, for example, whenever we are going to the doctor, whenever we are visiting the doctor, they give some kind of chemical related tablets. Okay. In the same way, phytochemicals means whenever we are consuming that food, particular food, it works as a chemical in our body, in chemistry form. Okay, that's called as phytochemicals. So, for example,
you mean-
H2O, O2, like that. Phytochemicals, that is the scientific way.
Ma'am,
Scientific way. Yeah.
just sorry, ma'am. Phytonutrients is also called as a phytochemicals, right?
Same only.
Yeah, same only. Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I'm asking. Thank you.
Phytochemicals, phytonutrients, both are same only. It works as same, the chemical form. Okay, so we discussed of the macronutrients and micronutrients. So how much we have to consume, the percentage also we are discussed. Now we are discussing about the healthy balanced diet. So already we discussed a little about a healthy balanced diet. So anyone can explain what is a balanced diet? What is balanced diet? Why we should maintain a balanced diet for everything?
Balanced diet is inclusive of right amount of carbs, protein, and micronutrients, as well as fat. So it is totally inclusive of a right amount of macro and micronutrients
Yeah.
with the right
Yeah.
portion.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that is correct only. So that is called as balanced diet. So many people, they may not aware of balanced diet. So many people may think that, so we are eating this, we are daily eating rice, we are daily eating dal, we are daily eating vegetables, but why we are obese, why we are getting diseased? So these many questions we may experience with our clients. Okay, but what is exactly balanced diets? Really, every person including right amount of the carbohydrate, and what kind of carbohydrate they are including in their diet also matters. Most of the Indian diet doesn't contains proper amount of the protein. That's why we are getting many diseases. Okay, because protein is a very important macronutrient to prevent any disease, because protein help us to protect from foreign bodies. Not only that, to improve, to regenerate any tissues, to improve red blood cells. For everything we require protein, but Indian diet is lack of protein. So how, for example, how many of us eating a right amount of the protein every day? Why teenagers experience with hair fall problem? Because we are not taking good amount of the protein. That is only the problem. So whenever we are making a balanced diet, we should include more protein along with the carbohydrate. More protein means the right amount of the protein. So at least people are not eating 40 to 50 grams of protein every day. Nowadays, people are realizing the things. So nowadays, people are more focused on nutrition. Before, 10 years before, people had really no idea how much they are consuming. So people are getting hospitalized, and still they ignored about the nutrition pattern. Okay, we are eating, so we don't need any special advice for the nutrition. These kind of people are higher in our society. So they ignored. So now they are realizing the importance of nutrition. So a healthy balanced diet is very important to treat any disease. Okay. So each group, for example, already we discussed about cereals, because from cereals we are getting carbohydrates. Not only carbohydrates, from cereals we are getting, if we are including whole grains, we are getting fiber also. We are getting vitamin B also, and we are getting little amount of protein, and we are getting little amount of fat also. So each and every food group give us every nutrient. But from cereals, we are getting majorly we are getting more carbohydrates. That's why we are calling them carbohydrate rich foods. But along with the carbohydrate, we are getting some other important nutrients also. So in our diet, we should include each and every food item in our diet. So that we can get all the necessary nutrients for our body function. Okay. And these nutrient requirements also, it's depend on our age group, it's depend on the gender, physical activity. And for pregnancy, this is completely different. For breastfeeding, this is completely different. We are going to discuss about pre and postnatal also one day. Okay. This pre and postnatal also, we are going to discuss 3 to 4 days, because that is a very big subject. Because during pregnancy, what we are consuming also very important. It impacts on fetus growth and development. Okay. So whenever we are making a diet plan, we should consider their age, their gender, their physical activity, and their bowel movement. Okay. And along with this, we have to include the sleeping pattern also. Please write down. We have to include their sleeping pattern. We have to check their gut health also. Gut health also very important. So for example,
Check gut health. I mean,
sorry.
how we can check the gut health, ma'am?
So gut health, basically, if a person is suffering from gastric, acidity, bloating, this is the very common symptoms of leaky gut.
Digestion.
Because, sorry?
Digestion, constipation.
Yeah, constipation, indigestion, constipation, acidity, and after eating something, if we feel bloat and everything, that gastric, these problems, this is the main common symptoms of leaky gut. Okay, because whenever we are suffering from acidity, it's very difficult to lose the weight for acidic body. Okay, so those who are on weight loss journey, if their body is acidic, so it's very difficult to lose their weight. So whenever they are suffering from acidity, first we have to focus to clear this acidic problem. Okay, and this is the main common symptoms of leaky gut. So if they have these symptoms, we have to focus on their gut health first. Okay.
So, ma'am, what to add in this? As you said, age, sleep pattern, gut health.
Age, sleep pattern, gut health, gender, their physical activity. This is the main thing. Their weight, oh, already we didn't discuss their weight, their BMI. Main, we have to consider these things. Based on that only, we have to make a diet plan. This is main things we have to.
Ma'am, what about their professional life? We do not ask that.
Physical activity, no? Physical
Okay.
activity means, yeah,
I thought
lifestyle. Yeah,
activity
physical
like
activity
game and
means,
yeah.
if they are sitting for prolonged time, for them diet is different.
So we also
to
should check their
Yes.
issues like health issues. We should
Yeah,
consider it, right?
yeah. If for diabetes, the diet is different.
Okay.
This is for balanced diet for this is for a healthy person.
Common person.
For,
Okay.
yeah, for this is for common people. For disease, we are going to discuss.
Okay.
For if we discuss diabetes, that day I'm going to explain it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, this
Great.
is for common people. Yeah.
Okay.
So
how
time
to
over here. Sorry,
how to calculate BMI?
I will explain you. Today only first class.
Body
Okay.
mass index, in which we have to
Oh, you're
calculate.
asking what is BMI?
Yeah, she's
Body
asking.
mass index. I thought how to calculate BMI.
Yes, ma'am, I'm asking about how to calculate.
I will explain. Today only the first class. Already
Okay,
I
ma'am.
told you yesterday, we are going to discuss everything in this course. Okay? So any doubts today's section? If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Time over here. So next part remaining we are going to discuss tomorrow. We will discuss tomorrow. Okay? If you have
What
any
will be the
queries.
today's assignment? Any type of assignment or something?
So assignment means, so we discussed only carbohydrates, fats and proteins, right? So proteins, how many grams I suggested for 1 kg body weight?
0.8.
0.8.
So 0.8. So for example, so I will tell you one assignment. Please write down. For a for a normal person, the weight is 80 kgs. Height is 175 centimeters. Height is 175 centimeters. Weight is 80 kgs. And the person is suffering from constipated. Okay, the person is suffering from constipated, and physical exercise activity is normal only, not higher, not lower, normal. He does 30 minutes walk every day. So how do you calculate protein percentage for that particular person? And
what is the height, ma'am? You explained
175.
175 centimeter height.
175 centimeter, and weight is 80 kg. and patient, the client is constipated. Okay, the person is constipated, and the physical activity is normal only. Sedentary lifestyle. So, please write down, okay, how much grams of protein you are going to suggest for that person. And carbohydrates, already we discussed. Carbohydrates 50 to 60%. So what kind of foods you are already we discussed? Cereals, whole grains, and millets. This is a good source of carbohydrates. These foods are good source of complex carbohydrates. So what kind of food you are going to include for them? And fiber. Already we discussed about the fiber also. So fiber also 28 grams to 35 grams. So from which food sources you are going to include? This is our assignment for today. We can discuss on the group whenever you are free, or else we can discuss tomorrow in tomorrow's section.
Hello,
Ma'am, I
sorry,
have a
ma'am.
question.
Can you please write down the assignment?
I will write down in the group. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Please.
I will
Yes, ma'am.
post in the
Thank you
group.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will
yeah,
post in the
please.
group, so we can discuss. If you have any queries, you can ask me in the group.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
How to calculate BMI? Yes, BMI we are going to discuss tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Let me finish first this section, this major things. After that, I will explain BMI, BMR, everything. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Good night,
Bye,
all.
ma'am. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Ji.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ji. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Good night.